You're a high earner, good income, smart. You've built a career that most people would envy. And you probably assume your finances are roughly on track. But here's what I found working with dozens of people exactly like you, is that most of them aren't. Not because they're doing anything wrong, but because they have a visibility problem. They don't know the numbers that actually matter. And today, I'm going to show you 7 of them. And I'll warn you up front, some of these are going to be uncomfortable. But uncomfortable and actionable is a lot better than comfortable and behind. And each one is a signal from a financial plan already in motion, whether you've designed it or not. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand and exactly what to do about it. I'm Justin Saffel, engineer turned investment advisor, financially independent at 38 through CreativeVest, a registered investment advisor. And I work with high earners who are smart, successful, and quietly behind despite their strong incomes to make work optional years ahead of traditional retirement timelines. So let's start with stat number 1, 63.9 years. That's the average healthy life expectancy in the United States according to the World Health Organization. 63.9. Traditional retirement planning has you working until 65. So do the math. If you follow that conventional plan, you roughly get 13 months of healthy retirement before your body starts to work against you. 13 months. You could spend your entire career building towards a freedom that arrives when your healthiest years are already behind you. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to reframe the timeline. The goal isn't to retire at 65. The goal is to make work optional as early as the math allows, while you still have health to actually live the life that you've been building towards. That's the signal from number 1. Now, before we move on to 2, if you want to go deeper into any of this, I run a free community called Financial Engineering School, high earners working through exactly this stuff together. The link is in the description. Go check it out. Now, on to number 2, stat million. Northwestern Mutual puts 1.46 million as the magic number for retirement in 2026. Here's the problem. For most high earners, that number is not nearly enough. If your household spends $100K a year using the 25X rule, your freedom number is $2.5 million. Spend $150K, that number climbs to $3.75 million. And that's before accounting for lifestyle inflation, which quietly follows income upward for most people. And so the signal here is pretty simple. Stop using someone else's number, calculate yours. Take your actual spending and multiply that by 25. That's your freedom number. The amount your portfolio needs to have in it to generate and offset your expenses for your lifestyle indefinitely. So write that down, that's the target. Now, moving on to stat number 3, 54%. 54% of American households have no dedicated retirement savings. None. Now, you're a high earner and you've probably saved something, so this number might feel a little bit irrelevant to you, but it's not. And here's why. A high income without a plan produces the same long-term outcome as a low income without a plan, just with a more comfortable present lifestyle. I've worked with engineers making $250,000 a year with scattered accounts, no clear target, and no real account architecture under their savings. They weren't building wealth. They were organizing procrastination. The signal from number 3 is that you should audit every account you have. Make sure that it's part of a cohesive plan with a clear target. If you can't answer what is this account actually for and does it connect to my freedom number, that's a gap. Now, on to stat number 4, $185,000. That's the median retirement savings for Americans aged 55 to 64. 185K. Their stated target, according to Northwestern Mutual, was $1.46 million. Even if you use that one, the gap between where they are and where they need to be is still $1 million with less than a decade to close that gap. This is the result of intending to get serious later. Later becomes now, and now it's too late to fix with compounding. The window for compounding is closing faster than most people realize. And the time to plan is before you feel behind, because by the time you feel behind, the math is already shifted against you. And so that's the signal from stat number 4. Now, if these numbers are hitting close to home, that's the point. Financial Engineering School is a free community where we work through these things together, the frameworks, the math, the actual decisions. So if you're not in yet, the link is in the description below. Go check it out. Let's keep going. All right, stat number 5, 14%. Only 14% of 401k participants max out their contributions. 14%. Now, for high earners, this is probably one of the most immediate opportunities on the table, especially if you're a W-2 earner. And so here's the sequence that probably matters. First, you want to use the 401k up to the employer match, right? Free money, you always want to capture that. Second, go for the Roth IRA. Then come back to the 401k and max it out, right? Okay. Fourth, if you have a high deductible plan, consider an HSA. They're triple tax advantage. You can contribute up to $4,300 a year for an individual and up to $8,500 for a family. Number 5 is going to be a taxable brokerage account for everything beyond that, because you need to be able to bridge the gap between retirement at 65 and when you plan to retire. And so fully running this sequence can save hundreds of thousands of dollars over the span of saving for work optional, just through the tax advantages alone. And so the signal here is, where are you in this sequence right now if you're a W-2 earner? So you want to identify the next step and you want to automate it this week. Stat number 6, 12x. This one is probably one of the more important ones in this video right now. To reach that $1.46 million by retirement, you need to invest $385 a month if you're starting at age 35. Wait until 15 years out, you need $4,600 a month. Same goal, 12 times the monthly effort. And that's not motivation, that's just math. And I've worked with a member, let's call him Ryan, 44 years old, making $190,000 a year. He had been meaning to get serious about his investments for 3 years. And so we ran the numbers. And that delay cost him $340,000 in lost compounding. He hadn't just lost that money, he never let it work. And so the signal for number 6 is to calculate the exact contribution rate you need today and to automate it. Don't wait for the right moment. The right moment was 3 years ago. The second best time is obviously right now. On to stat number 7, 90,000 hours. The average person spends 90,000 hours at work over their lifetime. And so 1/3 of your life. When I reached financial independence at age 38, I realized something I hadn't fully understood before. Most of those hours weren't chosen, they were required. Your financial plan determines how many of those 90,000 hours are mandatory versus optional. And that's what actually is at stake here. Not a number in an account, not a retirement date on a calendar. The question is, how many of your remaining hours do you get to choose? And so that's what financial engineering is for. 2 numbers that matter most right now: your freedom number, your annual spending times 25, and your freedom gap. That's your number minus what your current portfolio value is. Those two numbers tell you exactly what you're building towards and exactly how far you have to go. Most people have never calculated them. And the ones who have, and the ones who have built a system around closing that gap, those are the people who actually make work optional in their 40s and 50s instead of their 60s. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go calculate your freedom number. I already told you how to do that. Then pull up your accounts and calculate your freedom gap. Drop the numbers in the comments if you like, or if you prefer, just tell me which of these 7 numbers hit the hardest. I read every comment. And if you want the actual tools that do this automatically, I have a free freedom tracker that calculates your freedom number, your freedom gap, and shows you exactly what it takes to close that gap. The link is in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some value out of this. I'll see you in the next video.